Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozorowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. It's Election Day in Wisconsin. Voters will be deciding on races ranging from the presidential primary to local school boards.
Polls are open until 8 p.m., and as long as you're in line at a polling place by 8 o'clock, you will get to cast your ballot. Wisconsin does offer same-day registration, and if you are registering today, make sure you've got a proof of residence. And every voter, of course, also needs to have a photo ID.
Our team is live across the region to bring you the latest on the local elections that could shape the future of our communities. Michael Germain live in Chippewa Falls, Jeremy Wall in DeSoto, and Allison Ferget will spotlight our La Crosse school board race.
But first, it is an alert day if you couldn't tell by where Allison is in the city of La Crosse. Let's get the latest from our First Warn Skyline with Chief Meteorologist Greg Barnhart.
Yeah, we definitely have the snow going on. It's going to be the wind that's going to be the story here. So we have the alert days through tomorrow and the winter driving conditions. But no, really the snow, once it winds down, it's going to be the wind tomorrow, actually starting late tonight. But right now we got winter storm warnings to the east for heavier snow. Then we have a few counties that are in winter weather advisories for up to maybe 4 to 6 inches. But then all the brown is all the wind advisories. That goes through tomorrow about 10 p.m. and that has winds up to 45, potentially 50-mile-per-hour gusts out of the north. That's going to be the bigger story going on. Road conditions right now mainly wet, but there are some pockets of when it does get slushy because the snow starts picking up. Especially you go up to Warren on I-94, that's one pocket where it's starting to get a little more slushy. Otherwise, Eau Claire, just some wet conditions. You look at radar visibilities here, generally above a mile, but once it gets below a half mile, that's when we start seeing problems. And throughout the night, we're going to see that continuing with a little bit less snow as we go up towards Eau Claire towards the morning, but still the morning commute's going to be slushy, snow covered. Later on, we're going to actually time out the stronger winds that have already started picking up west of the Mississippi, and I'll break that down along with how much snow we'll get and when we'll actually see those 50s again, all that coming up later in the broadcast.
All right, quite a lot of action. Greg, thanks very much. Voters are choosing 3 new school board members today. Originally, only 2 candidates were running in the 3-seat contest, but now 7 write-in candidates have jumped into this race.
News 8 Now's Allison Ferget is live at Hogan to explain what we can expect tonight. Allison.
Ken and Emily, this building is where school board meetings are held. It's also where a controversial new proposed elementary school could go, and that's if a consolidation plan passes with voters. Now, that's not on the ballot tonight, but it has really impacted the school board election. Now, many of the write-in candidates were motivated to join the race after the school board came up with a referendum plan that would close Emerson and Spence elementary schools. A new elementary school would then, of course, be built on this site. It would also renovate State Road with the intent of closing Hinchin Elementary later on. The school board says this plan would help pull the district out of a multi-million-dollar budget shortfall.
With this plan, not only is it addressing the major financial needs, but it will ensure that our communities remain intact.
Now, the 3 new members elected tonight could try to change the plan, but it will be an uphill battle if they don't have majority support from the board. And whether that referendum plan passes in November, the new board members will be tasked with how to move the district forward. Now, this is a pretty unusual race because of that high number of write-in candidates. So that means tonight election workers are going to be tallying through all of those ballots to individually tally up those write-in votes. So while we might know who's leading tonight, we probably won't know for sure who won until next week. So live in La Crosse, where it is freezing, Allison Ferget, Ken and Emily, back to you.
All right, Allison, thanks for braving the snow. Now, in Chippewa Falls, voters are deciding whether their school district will receive $7.5 million in additional funding over the next 3 academic years. And they're one of many districts across the state asking voters for additional funds to keep up with rising expenses.
Yeah, News 8 Now's Michael Germain is live in Chippewa Falls, where voters have been braving the weather all day. Michael.
Ken and Emily, as you guys can see, it's kind of snowing / raining here in Chippewa Falls, but dozens of voters have come in to cast their vote today. But the question that they want answered is whether or not they're going to approve that $7.5 million referendum. The district says the money will go towards operational and maintenance expenses to maintain staffing levels, programs, services, and facilities. Now, today's vote comes after districts met with parents upset that they haven't been notified of possible threats made by a middle school student back in October. Superintendent Jeff Holmes told parents they hadn't been notified because the district didn't find the threats credible. Now, despite those concerns, one voter we spoke with says he's in favor of the referendum passing.
I believe more money needs to be spent in our schools. There's so many kids around here and the schools are getting old. And so things need to be redone. And I think teachers' pays are low too. So I think teachers' pay levels should go up.
Now, if it does end up passing, obviously it will be huge news for the Chippewa Falls region, but if it doesn't end up passing, we could see a lot of staff members and people working within the school laid off. But until then, we're going to continue our coverage here. We'll be back at 10. Live in Chippewa Falls, Michael Germain, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Michael. Voters in Vernon and Crawford counties are also deciding on a multi-million-dollar referendum to maintain staff and continue student programs. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall is live in the newsroom with the details. Jeremy.
Well, Emily, voters I spoke to have mixed reactions casting their ballot for the DeSoto area schools referendum. The district is asking voters for a total of $4.8 million over the next 4 years. It's the first time in more than 20 years the district has asked for an operational referendum, and like a number of other districts with referendums on the ballot tonight, they say the money is necessary to maintain current staffing. But the vote today follows upsets earlier this year by parents after the school board voted not to renew Stoddard Elementary School principal contract of Derek Folsang.
We need to revamp the whole thing because there was some shady dealings, and I don't trust the way things were handled with the school board.
Fogo also says that because of how the school board handled the Folsang controversy, he thinks write-ins will be voted in. According to Superintendent Liz Groning, if this referendum fails, the district will have to decide what programs to cut and whether to replace staff or not. Live in the newsroom, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Jeremy.
And a quick clarification, there is a referendum for DeSoto, but there are also school board races, so Jeremy mentioning both potential items that voters in those districts can vote on. Now, those kind of school races will drive pockets of communities to the polls today, but the main driver of voter turnout, of course, is the presidential primary. And usually in April, the question of who will be each party's nominee hasn't been answered yet.
But this year is different. Both Joe Biden and Donald Trump have already secured enough delegates from previous primaries to win party nominations. So there's no mystery as to who's running for president this fall.
None at all. And political analysts say that presents quite a challenge for both parties, as in how do they keep voters engaged now over a longer election season?
Typically, the parties have a pretty condensed period of time when they are reaching out to swing voters and moderate voters, but now it's like over half a year.
Now, Wisconsin remains a key swing state. The 2020 presidential election came down to just a 20,000 vote margin of victory for Biden. Biden has campaigned in Wisconsin twice already this year and is in Madison next week. Former President Trump is in Green Bay today for his first state visit in 2 years. We'll have his message to Wisconsinites tonight at 10.
The Democratic field has settled on 4 more years of President Biden, though there is a small contingency of pro-Palestine voters who are urging Wisconsinites today to vote uninstructed. Those voters don't approve of Biden's handling of the war in Gaza and want to send a message to Biden to make sure he hears those concerns come November. More broadly, though, Democratic leadership in the state still stumps for Biden, saying his leadership is a clear advantage to MAGA extremism under Trump.
The presidential primary part of your ballot today is the only partisan decision you'll have to make. Local races are, on paper, nonpartisan.
But one local race for La Crosse County Circuit Court judge has partisan undertones because of the governors who both candidates are linked to.
Candace Tillestosh is running against Mark Huesman for a 6-year term on Branch 3. Governor Evers appointed Huesman last summer to finish out Todd Bjerke's term. Huesman is a retired Army Reserve Lieutenant Colonel and was Bjerke's court commissioner for 16 years. Tillestosh is an experienced trial lawyer and was appointed by former Governor Scott Walker in 2015 to finish out a term on Branch 5. She then ran and lost a subsequent primary.
The last 2 items on your ballot are referendum questions offering changes to the Wisconsin Constitution. Now, the first that the Republican-controlled legislature passed the last 2 sessions asks you if there should be a ban on private donations and grants being used for election work. It's based on a 2020 Money report that Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg donated $350 million to a Chicago civics nonprofit, and some of that money was then shared with Wisconsin towns who used it to cover expenses like personal protective equipment and poll worker training. Republican leaders like Senator Ron Johnson have asked voters to vote yes on that to get Zuckerbucks out of state elections.
Now, the second question, should only election officials designated by law be allowed to perform election-related tasks? Some analysts and progressive law firms say the amendment as written doesn't really change what's already state law. The state already has rigorous requirements for election officials. Among other things, they have to be approved by a municipality from a list of nominees submitted by both major political parties.
So a lot to chew on. We will have plenty more races to cover this evening, things like mayor, common council, county board. And for an extensive look at results and some candidate profiles, just head to our elections page on news8000.com.
Well, shoppers at the Onalaska Festival Foods were in for a surprise today.
Now, what happened and what you need to know when we come back.
We've all seen what's happening at our border. President Biden and Senator Baldwin's open border policy has brought more than 10 million illegal immigrants into our country. That's double the population of Wisconsin. Our country was already struggling to provide housing and health care to our citizens. And tragically, we're losing over 100,000 Americans a year to the drugs that pour over our open border. Their policy is wrong. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message, and I'll work to fix this problem.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Dale, what's going on, man?
I'm remodeling and I'm looking for a new tankless water heater.
You know, Menards always has Richmond water heaters in stock. I'm headed that way now. You want to go?
You read my mind. Let's do it. Man, you ever take off that fire suit?
I sleep in this thing.
All right. Man, these stores are incredible. I love having them as a partner.
Me too. For the best tankless options, come to Menards for Richmond water heaters.
And all your home improvement projects.
Save big money at Menards.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Schwabel, Getz & Sieben today.
After the accident, I knew my medical bills were mounting. I needed surgery, and I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. So I called Schwabel, Getz & Sieben. I didn't have to worry about the process or what was going on. I was truly convinced that I was in good hands. I know Schwabel, Getz & Sieben was looking out for my best interest. I would highly recommend Schwabel, Getz & Sieben to anybody who is involved in a personal injury accident.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum. Spectrum Internet offers speed and reliability, while advanced Wi-Fi gives you best-in-class security for all your connected devices. And Spectrum Mobile delivers unlimited talk, text, and data with nationwide 5G included. Switch now and get Spectrum Internet for $49.99, plus advanced Wi-Fi and one Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line free for 12 months. Start saving today. Visit Spectrum.com, a Spectrum store, or scan to call now.
Well, quite a shock for customers at Onalaska's Festival Foods this afternoon. A car appears to have smashed through the sliding front doors. Onalaska Police and Fire Department were both on scene this afternoon to clear things up. So far, officials have not reported any injuries.
You may have seen teal ribbons tied around trees in various areas of La Crosse. Those are to commemorate April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Mayor Mitch Reynolds held his annual proclamation this afternoon at the New Horizons Shelter and Outreach Centers, acknowledging the realities of sexual violence in our community. Now, Reynolds called upon individuals and organizations to use their collective voice in preventing sexual abuse by building equity in our community. He said symptoms of oppression such as racism, sexism, and classism contribute to higher rates of sexual harassments. You can learn more about the resources at New Horizons Shelter and Outreach Centers at nhaganstabuse.org. We'll have that link on our digital platforms.
Today marks the start of UWL's 8th annual Social Justice Week. It starts today and will continue through this Thursday. The idea is for UWL professors and staff to showcase what research they're doing in relation to a selected theme. Now, this year's theme for the week is Building Belonging, Identities Shaping Communities. This week will feature different diversity and inclusion events and keynote speakers. We'll have more information on how to get involved on our digital platforms.
The La Crosse area YMCA hosted its annual meeting today.
And 6 community members honored for their volunteer efforts and hard work.
We got the snow, but we got the wind, and I'll time out what the wind looks like for a Wednesday when it'll actually die down Thursday, and when we'll see those 50s, maybe 60s are finally back. All that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
ready for the Spring Gift and Craft Show at the Onalaska Omni Center. Shop more than 100 of the best gift and craft vendors on April 13th and 14th. Entry is free, but we are accepting non-perishable food donations. Don't miss the Spring Gift and Craft Show.
Are you looking for a high-paying career without any experience? Chart Industries has the opportunity you've been waiting for. Starting wage $30 per hour, highest pay in the area, guaranteed 40 hours, and so much more. If you are making less than $60,000 and want a healthy work-life balance, apply at jobs.chartindustries.com today. That's jobs.chartindustries.com.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S., they offer the versatility and reliability to get the job done right all year round. Right now, bring home select VX and L Series tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months. Contact your Kubota dealer for details.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships in Menominee, Baldwin, Osseo, and Arcadia.
Are you or a loved one having troubles getting in and out of the bathtub safely? Has the high cost of remodeling left you without options? I'm Tim with Tri-State Tub to Shower Conversions, and I've been serving the Tri-State area since 1992. And I would love to make your bathing experience safe and affordable. We use your existing tub and remove the front section for easy accessibility. And for an affordable cost, call today.
Fresh out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the limited time triple pet pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Giant pepperoni, classic pepperoni, and mini cup pepperoni? Now that is an expression.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great.
In my oven.
Order the triple pet pizza for just $12.99 today.
Get ready for the Spring Gift and Craft Show at the Onalaska Omni Center. Shop more than 100 of the best gift and craft vendors on April 13th and 14th. Entry is free, but we are accepting non-perishable food donations. Don't miss the Spring Gift and Craft Show.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The La Crosse Area YMCA honored 6 community members at its annual meeting today.
The meeting is a chance for Y leaders to recognize and honor their volunteers, staff, and partners, and look back at the organization's success in the year prior.
Just last year, the organization says it served more than 33,000 members.
Well, it certainly did feel like winter out today,
sure
and it's going to be feeling that way up until tomorrow night. Let's send it over to Greg for the latest.
Yeah, we definitely have a good winter storm, spring storm going on here. So the conditions really tomorrow will be the wind and the snow, and the road conditions, it's just tricky during a springtime storm like this. It just takes the amount of snow to get a little bit higher rate to get you from wet to slushy. But this evening, slushy spots depending on where you are. Tomorrow it's going to be really slushy, snowy. And the temperatures drop a little bit for the morning commute. The wind will be the story too. And then coming into tomorrow evening's commute, I think temperatures will come up a little bit, so the roads will be mainly wet, but it's going to be the wind will be the main story. Here's the wind advisories up to 45, 50 gusts. This will be for tonight through about 10 p.m. tomorrow. So if you don't see the snow, you're going to see clouds, and you're definitely going to see that north wind there. So otherwise, for the winter weather alerts, we got those storm warnings to the east for the heavier amounts. The other shaded areas is up to about 4 inches, and this all combines wind and snow together. So that's what we're looking at. Higher elevations, typically we'll see more of the snow. But for tonight, I got the visibility, and really what you're looking for, visibility to get down to about a half mile or a little bit around that to really start accumulating on roads. But 1 mile definitely is coming down, so you'll see there'll be bands of 1 to 2, maybe and a half. Up to the north to Eau Claire, you'll start seeing it kind of lighten up overnight, so on and off, so it won't be as bad. The morning commute should be snowy for most areas. Worst conditions south and east of La Crosse going through tomorrow morning, where you could see pockets of a half mile. That means snow rates about 1 inch to 2 inches per hour coming down. That will accumulate on roads. We'll see some of that off and on south and east of La Crosse in the morning, but up to the north, you'll start seeing it break up a little bit towards the noon hour, and then as we go in the afternoon, there'll be breaks. There'll be pockets or bands of snow, but then if you get in a pocket that doesn't have much, your visibility improves, roads become wet, and then as we get towards tomorrow evening, it starts to really shrink to the south and to the east. Still some pockets of snow for the evening commute, but nothing like we're seeing. Likely we'll see temperatures then around the upper 30s, so mainly wet, but the story then becomes the wind. For snow amounts, really as you go further east is where you're going to see more of it, potentially 1 to 2, 2 to 4. higher elevations, especially south and east, is where you could pick up 4 to 8 inches of wet snow. And then tomorrow, less amounts of snow, especially as you go further north, La Crosse southeastward, probably 1 to 2. Not a lot of snow during the day, and the temperatures will be a little bit warmer in the afternoon, so more roads will be wet. The other big story is the wind, and really once you wake up 20 to 25 miles per hour. Then in the afternoon Wednesday, we could see 30 sustained mile-per-hour winds and gusts near 50. That's going to be the bigger story too, especially if you're on west-east roads with that crosswind that'll continue to go on through the evening hour and reduce visibility along with the snow. The winds will die off a little bit in the evening, but they're still going to be windy throughout the night, and then even Thursday, we got breezy conditions, not quite as strong, but still 15 to 25 miles per hour. So a couple days of some strong winds to go along with the snow. It won't be as wet as we go into Thursday, but something to keep in mind of. Otherwise tonight, temperatures staying above freezing for the most part. Snow off and on bands of a light to moderate. Then we'll see the winds pick up tomorrow, especially in the afternoon hours. We'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Roads becoming mainly wet, but the wind will be the story too to keep an idea. Otherwise, we go into Thursday, less wind, a few showers, and then Friday we dry out. The weekend, at least the start looks good. Some rain coming back in for Sunday, and potentially the 60s coming back next week, but it's kind of been pushed off each day because the system keeps along a little bit longer each day. So.
All right, quite a system indeed.
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers looking to make it 4 wins to start the season. Plus, one of the state's best players has made his next chapter official. Rob's got the deets next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
We forge steel bars that hold up bridges, propel ships, and send rockets into space.
But for years, China's been lowballing their prices, so it's been tough to compete.
We can't let China steal Wisconsin jobs, so I wrote a law to require American infrastructure projects use American iron and steel.
Tammy Baldwin got President Trump to sign her Made in America bill.
And then she got President Biden to make it permanent.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
Tammy Baldwin has our back.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy in the La Crosse area.
When you're talking to someone and you call someone at Olson Solar, it's not someone in Utah, it's not someone in California, it is someone local right here. By doing that, we control the entire process. So we control the project management, we control the design, we control the installation, the electric, the hookup, permitting, and that really sets us apart.
Stop into our location near you or give us a call and ask us about our Earth Day promo.
To everyone who enjoys a feel-good meal, we're crafting one for you, Wisconsin style.
We're talking handcrafted, cooked to order.
Scoop to perfection goodness.
More like greatness.
A snuggle up in the booth, share a bite kind of meal.
A fill you up, heart and soul kind of meal.
Come treat someone you love to a meal they're sure to love.
One always served with a smile.
That comes from the heart.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
Find happiness. Find something familiar and new. Find connection. Find culture. Find community. Find yourself at the La Crosse Symphony.
Join the La Crosse Symphony Orchestra for the Ultimate Movie Night, Saturday, April 6th, sponsored by ISG. Get your tickets now at lacrossesymphony.org.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
GET's Cody Schmitz made the absolute most of his high school career. Now the 3-time Cooley Conference Player of the Year is closing one chapter while starting a brand new one. The leader of the Redhawks making the announcement official this afternoon in the library at GET High. Friends, family, coaches all on hand as Schmitz officially commits to Northern Michigan University. The senior will head to Marquette, Michigan to play for the Wildcats. And what a legacy he leaves behind in Galesville. Over 2,600 points in his high school career. Schmitz averaging just over 30 points a game in his final season as he led GET to the sectional final in D3. But now the focus shifts to the next level, and Schmitz says he's more than ready for the challenge.
I'm a big competitor. I just want to play games. I just want to have fun, and I'm ready for this next level of ball. I had a lot of fun in high school, so I know I'll have a lot of fun in college. I know it's going to be a hard step. I know it's going to be a lot tougher competition, but I'm going to be confident as ever, I'm going to come in and I know my stuff works, so I'm going to work hard and hopefully I can back it up on the court.
Now, Schmidt's high school career isn't quite over just yet. The senior will also be on the track this spring during his final year in Galesville. Brewers looking to stay perfect on the season. They were hosting the Twins in their home opener this afternoon. The rookie gets the crew on the board. Jackson Churio makes it 1-0 Milwaukee. And then in the third, stay hot, Christian Yelich. Yelly crushes one to deep center. Solo shot, second homer of the season. It's 2-0 Brewers. Later in the inning, 2 on for Bryce Terang. He shoots one the other way. That gets down for a base hit. Brewers tack on another and take a 3-0 lead. Minnesota would cut it to 1, but in the 8th, the Brewers flashing some leather. Oliver Dunn laying out for the grab. Beautiful, beautiful grab there. Then in the 9th, Abner Uribe on for the save. Tying run at first, but some more great D from the crew. Big time double play. Brewers make it 4 straight. My Brewers, they get the win in their home opener. 3-2, the final score. I'm changing it.
Yeah?
I was in New York this weekend.
So upset with
in
the
New York.
outcome.
And we look terrible.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the Brewers look good.
They sure did.
Hey, I'm impartial here.
Fair weather fan
I live
here.
in Wisconsin. All about the crew this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I had so much on my mind with election, I forgot to bring the Brewers shirt.
Oh, I'm
so
wearing it,
a
man.
disappointment, of course. I'm
I
sorry.
look good in
everybody.
dark blue.
Maybe I'll bust it out
Everyone
later
watch
this
out.
week. We'll get it on you.
We'll be looking forward to that. All right, we'll be right back after this.
See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
College is more than the knowledge you gain. It's a place to cultivate your curiosity. It's where you explore the potential and what's next. It's where you find the tenacity to rise, rather than settle for good enough. It's a series of moments that add up to form your future self. It's where what you want is within reach, on your terms. It's where you find a career, not just a job. Western Technical College. Discover what you're made of.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's trusted gutter and gutter helmet experts. Our highly trained certified technicians can install gutter helmet onto new or existing gutters. Gutter helmet blends in beautifully with your home, can withstand the heaviest of rainfalls, and is backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Save up to 20% with zero down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with seamless gutters and gutter helmet. Brought to you by Asher Laston Exteriors.
Your home, a place of comfort and safety, could be trying to tell you something. Interior cracks, sloping floors, hard to open doors and windows are all signals of foundation failure that you can't ignore. At American Waterworks, we use modern techniques and warranted solutions to restore your peace of mind in your home. After all, your home's foundation issues won't get better with time, but it will with our proven solutions. Choose confidence, choose reliability, choose American Waterworks.
All right, you can see the difference in the visibility. If we get down to 1 mile, like in Toma and Black River Falls occasionally, you do get some slush on the roads. That band that actually is sitting over just to the east of the cross, all that's beginning to rotate across. You can see the low to the east. That's all going on tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be the wind with a little bit less snow, improving towards the end of the week and the weekend, but we still got to get through the next probably 24 hours.
All right, be careful, everybody. Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.